Jacob Elordi on The Kissing Booth 2 and 3, and we have all the details. I'm Jana Rosenberg.
I'm Gabi Conti, and this is your 24/7 celebrity news. Joey King just opened up to Cosmopolitan about what it was like working with her ex-boyfriend, Jacob Elordi, on The Kissing Booth 2 and 3. As you probably know, Joey and Jacob started dating while they were filming the first Kissing Booth, and then later split up. Even though there was a reported breakup, the couple never made an official statement that they were donezo, but it was pretty clear that the co-stars were over in the romantic sense. Finally, Joey answered the questions on all of our minds when we realized that she filmed The Kissing Booth 2 with Jacob Elordi, playing love interest nonetheless. Pretty soon after the two broke up, Joey got super honest when she opened up to Cosmopolitan about what it was like working with Jacob after their breakup, whether their breakup was reported or not.
Gosh, this gives me, you guys, I am such a fan of the Kissing Booth trilogy. However, that being said, this gives me major anxiety. Watching the second one, I was very invested in Joey King and Jacob Elordi's relationship. I mean, I was very into it. I thought they're so cute together. I still wish that they would get back together, even though it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. But watching the second one, I just my heart just felt for them. Do you know how hard it would be to break up with a boyfriend that you completely fell in love with? They seem like they were super in love, and then have to act in a movie like you are in love with that same person. And it's it's such a familiar place. I mean, it blows my mind that they haven't gotten back together after this, but this leads me to believe that their first breakup wasn't squeaky clean.
Well, yes, and Jacob has spoken about, I guess fans have called him out that he looks miserable in the second Kissing Booth.
Yeah.
He looks like he is really not having it. I guess they pulled some gifts from the movies and stuff like that. And Jacob later would say that it was because he was so tired because he came from shooting Euphoria, where we think was Los Angeles, and the Kissing Booth movies were shot in South Africa. So he was dealing with jet lag, and yeah, I'm sure it was a little awkward for him as well.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, at the end of the day, they're professionals.
Yep.
They're actors. They knew going into this, they knew when they were dating that there probably was a possibility that they would have to either work with each other again, do press for it, and I think that is the risk that any time an on-screen couple gets into a relationship, that's a very real risk that I think they have to be aware of from the second they get intimate off screen. Absolutely.
That is a really, really good point. I mean, I feel like that you make a commitment in a relationship, but when you take your relationship off screen to in your real life, that's a whole other commitment itself.
And yeah.
You know, it's how will this go if we break up, or are we gonna be loyal to each other, because what a recipe for disaster. But I have to say, they killed it in movie 2. I believed it,
Yeah.
So.
I mean, it's something that we see currently right now happening with Chase Stokes and Madeline Klein. Things are amazing with them. They're stronger, they're happy, they're officially together. They kept it hush, I think, that they kept their relationship hush for a bit because they were, kind of nervous about what people are going to say, etc. But, they face a real challenge there too because there's such delay with filming right now.
Yeah.
We're hoping they'll still be together, but there is always a chance that they might not be together by the time they start filming season 2 of Outer Banks.
Such a good point.
And also, it's something that I feel like Cole Sprouse and Lily Reinhart have dealt with a ton with Riverdale. Because, I mean, that relationship, even though they had been dating for 4 years, whatever, that relationship has been off and on.
Right.
And so, but they are professional and they make it work. And Joey's professional, Jacob's professional. And I really don't think it shows in the movie. But when you know that backstory, it's just interesting watching it. You watch it a different way, I guess.
You do. I totally did. But, I agree with you. I think they handled it super well. I know Joey, which we'll probably get into, but she said she fell so in love with the first movie.
Right.
And it's really the first movie, they owe it to the fans of that movie because that's what kind of really got their names on the map. Yes, Joey has been in Hollywood for a long time, but this movie, this is how I knew her, and same with Jacob. You know?
Well, for Joey has been acting. I think her first role was on The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody when she was 6 years old. She's been in also a ton of movies, always playing the adorable girl. I feel like I just saw her in Crazy Stupid Love. I think she had a role.
She was.
In that.
Yep.
Yeah. So she's always been a young girl in roles. This definitely was her first mainstream. Young adult role, so that was a game changer for her. And for Jacob, I feel like this definitely is, you could almost say that there's no way he would have gotten Euphoria if he hadn't done this.
Maybe not.
Possibly,
yeah.
because this is definitely what made him becoming a household name, and people definitely liken his career path to Noah Centineo because it's like, oh, you're the Netflix heartthrob.
Yeah.
Like, anything is possible after that.
And he played, you know, in Euphoria, he plays this like angry guy, but he also has anger issues in his role in the kissing booth. He, you know, he says it. He's like, I have issues with anger, like, you know, and that's like a thing that they deal with in their relationship in the kissing booth. So you're so right. I feel like Euphoria was like, wow, he really crushed it in the kissing booth. Yes, it was this like cheesy teeny bopper heartthrob, but I mean, yeah, I think Jacob, you know, has a lot to thank when it comes to the kissing booth and Netflix and even Joey.
Yeah.
You know, like their on-screen chemistry was fabulous. He said before, he was like, she's brilliant.
She is brilliant.
Even, you know, when they weren't dating, I'm sure he still feels the same way. But yeah, I mean, this just, my heart really just like, this whole movie, you guys, I just was like, this is crazy to me. Because I think about like making it personal with myself. And I'm like, I don't think this is tough, you know?
Well, yeah. Have you guys ever dated someone maybe that you go to the same school as or work with, and then you break up, and then you have to see them after the breakup?
You're
like,
so
what
embedded.
is like? It's what is that like for you? Like, let us know. I'm trying to think. Like, I feel like in college, I like dated guys that I went to college with and went to see them around campus after we broke up, and that was like super awkward.
Yeah. See, that's awkward. It's like you don't even have to work with them, or like you know, you can choose to not be around them. But for this, it's like we have to like work together. We have to make out. We have to do like the intimate scenes, and it's just, that's wow. It's crazy.
Very crazy.
So Joey King is the cover girl of Cosmopolitan's September issue, and apparently her cover story interview spilled so much tea that their interview literally broke Zoom. According to the magazine's cover, Joey did admit that, of course, there was more pressure working with Jacob again. As she said, I'm sure people will analyze every moment and every detail, and you know what? Let them. But at the end of the day, I was just thrilled to be Elle Evans again. There's so much I want to say, and that's something, you know, she made really clear. She's so in love with the character of Elle Evans. She's spoken about that many times, and I think no matter, regardless of how she feels emotionally towards her ex-boyfriend and co-star, she was really going to do whatever she had to do to bring Elle Evans to life again.
Yes. And definitely, if you haven't already, this piece is available on Cosmopolitan.com. It's available in the magazine. That's where we're getting our quotes from. As a contributing writer to Cosmopolitan, I feel biased to bring that up. But I will say this is a very, very well-written piece, and the author gives you a whole play-by-play of what it was like doing this lunch Zoom turned into FaceTime with Joey. And if you are a big Joey fan, you need to read it because it really shows her personality and who she is. And she seems like such a professional sweetheart, really.
She really is. I've interviewed her, and she blew me away. Like, I knew of her, you know, I'd watched The Kissing Booth and then this new movie she was promoting at the time. But during her interview, like, I like fell in love with her because she's so like herself. Like, she's like, what's up? Like, how's it going? Like, I'm just this cute little Jewish girl, like, doing my thing. And she's just so awesome. So it's hard not to like her. I don't know what went down with her and Jacob, but I feel like the two of them haven't been super forward about being like, you know what, it's all good, you guys, like, we're good friends, like, all is well. Like, they've been pretty like, look, it was really hard. That's all we could really say about it.
Right. But I definitely think it had something to do with, you know, you come from filming a movie where you're spending 24/7 with a partner on and off screen, right? And then he had to go film Euphoria, and she was probably working on another project. So I definitely think, like, during that time off, I mean, long distance relationships are difficult as they are when you're not actors.
Right.
But I have to imagine that they have to be even more difficult when you are actors, especially when you're like doing, you know, love scenes with other people and other partners. So again, this is not like an official, like, this is what happened.
Right.
But that's my speculation, is that the distance definitely grew them apart. And, you know, long distance is an obstacle in any relationship, and it's really up to you to decide if you can make it work or not. I mean, Joey just turned 21. She's so young. So my guess is that they probably were like, we like each other. You know, it just didn't make sense.
Right.
Trying to make something work.
Right.
And then I don't know if they knew when they broke up that there would be a kissing booth too.
Right.
But they definitely knew that they would be pressed to follow it.
I know. I mean, that's so true. Like, I think it was very, you know, no one really knew exactly if they'd be coming back together to work together for 2 and 3. However, you know, it's working in Hollywood. You meet so many people, like all the time, every day. If your relationship is not rock solid, super confident people on your own that can be brought together and love each other because you love yourselves, it's not going to work. Like, we see this time and time again, and this is why Hollywood relationships so often fail. You know, I think Jacob Elordi went on to film Euphoria. He met Zendaya, which is like incredible. And then we've seen, rumors of them, and then even Joey on Hulu's The Act, she was being seen with her producer, or was it producer?
Yeah, producer, but they did a red carpet. But again, they could be friends, I think the rule of thumb with this is that we can't, especially since Joey and Jacob never made an official statement saying that they had broken up, but it's obvious that they had based on their actions.
Right.
I think really, like, when it comes to, like, are they together, are they single, like, you really have to trust the stars and their privacy of when they want to make those announcements and who they're dating.
Yeah.
They're also, obviously, we thought a couple of weeks ago, it looked like Joey was dating her other co-star,
Taylor is a car for it.
which we were just shipping, but, they turned out to be just friends, and I think we just have to respect their privacy in that way. But Joey does spill a little bit more tea in this interview, and it seems like she could be dating someone else.
Interesting.
At the time of the interview, I will say, from what I know about writing and print, that they do the interviews like a little bit before. So the September, even though it came out in September, and September is like next month. She likely did this interview probably, I would guess, around maybe June to have it be in the September issue. So
got some insight
that's some insider
from
insight.
a Cosmo contributing writer. Wow,
go.
that's actually pretty crazy to think about.
Yeah, yeah, very crazy. It's me. Sorry about that. Sorry, guys. So, okay, speaking of Cosmo, so when Emma Batty of Cosmopolitan asked Joey the $1 million question we all wanted to know during their FaceTime lunch interview, what was it like to have to act with someone you might now feel really guarded around, or rather, what was it like to act with someone who would know, someone you just broke up with? No one's thinking to themselves that was easy, because it wasn't. Joey then went on to add more detail about what it was like to work with her ex by saying, "There's so much I want to say. What's the most correct way to go about this? Elle Evans needs her Noah Flynn, and whatever that means for my personal life, I'll do anything to make sure the story of my character, who I care about, is so much is complete."
And that's on being a professional.
Yeah, so she admits it was hard, it was challenging, but at the end of the day, she's going to put her personal life aside to be a professional actress and to focus on her character, which is why we're watching to begin with. We love her character, we love his character, and we are shipping them as fictional characters.
Yes. So. And I have a feeling, again, this is speculation, this is like my brain, but I feel like they had to have communicated and spoken before stepping foot on set to shoot that second and even third movie. Like it's not even like they're just in the movie together. Like, again, they're playing very intimate roles together, and this is where they fell in love. So it's like, I'm sure that they had to have sat down and had some kind of conversation. At least I'm hoping. And even if they didn't, like, dang, it really worked for the second, like, whatever.
Wait,
the
so
second movie was great.
They never met prior to shooting Kissing Booth 1?
No.
To our knowledge? Okay,
to
so
our
they
knowledge,
definitely met on set. And they
and everyone was like, oh my God, they'd be so cute in real life.
And then
they very publicly went to red carpets together. Paparazzi caught them at farmers markets around LA.
Yeah, we just showed a picture of him kissing her on the head. It looks like a award show or something like that. So yeah.
And she even went and surprised him when he was filming some movie, I don't know, something he was doing, I don't know what it was, but there's a video of her, she went and surprised him, like all the way in Canada, and they just seemed like, they truly seemed like so genuinely in love. And like, this is why, I think I've said when we've covered Zendaya and Jacob's relationship or whatever that was, I said that I shipped it, but like, this has just given me a whole new perspective. I don't ship it. I loved him with Joey. Maybe it's done and it's over and I'm happy for them, but if I had to put Jacob with anyone, I would really want him to go back with Joey. I really loved that relationship.
Yeah.
I really did.
Well, it's funny because do you think you ship Jacob and Joey more because they play on-screen lovers, whereas Zendaya and Jacob in Euphoria, they are like more like rivals?
That's a good point. Maybe that is a possibility, being that Jacob and Joey do play lovers on screen. However, I really fell in love with them when I saw all the cute photos like outside
and
of
couples
being on set.
costumes and all that stuff.
And like, they're just both just such. Everyone's gorgeous. Like, Zendaya's gorgeous too. It's not about that, but it's like the way some couples just like look so good together. And I just feel like Joey and Jacob have this like thing. Like, they're both just so different. I feel like Zendaya and Jacob are very similar in their styles, and like they're very artsy, and like Joey and Jacob are just so different to me. Like, Joey's this goofball girl who's so just like, she's awesome. Like, she's literally the most outgoing human. Jacob's a little more reserved. He's not as out there. He seems a little more like calculated, So
yeah, I'm curious what their astrological signs are. If they're who's more astrologically compatible? Is it Joey and Jacob or Jacob and Zendaya? That would be interesting.
If you guys can figure this out right now, please comment.
Let us know who's more astrologically compatible. I mean, but I will say too, I think that once a relationship is over, it's over. And so unless they decide to get back together, like Gigi and Zayn, like then we're all for it.
Yeah.
So I do kind of just wish both Jacob and Joey the best and whatever they want, and their personal life is their business. And when they tell us what's happening, we will be very excited to hear that. So.
I mean, I'm sad. I don't think we're going to get much from Jacob. He's very closed off.
He's very closed off.
Like no personal life.
And he's all the way in Australia right now, quarantining his parents. So I mean, that's also where Zac Efron is. Like, I guess, you know, we should move to Australia and do news from there.
I'm thinking about it. So it also seems that at the time of the interview, Joey is dating someone new as Betty. Is it I don't want to. Oh, Beatty.
Yeah, last name.
Okay, so this is Emma Beatty. She's the Cosmopolitan writer. As she observed, for the record, Joey seems to be seeing someone else now. She's hesitant to say much when I bring it up, but when I ask, she's not smiling. But dating aside, it seems like Joey is more focused on her next project or projects rather than her next boyfriend. She's currently working on pitching a TV show with her friend Caitlin Dever, you might recognize from Booksmart, that is being produced by Margot Robbie, who Joey loves so much, about two women living in the woods.
Which sounds great. So we're excited for her and her next project and wherever her love life might take her. Again, she just turned 21 years old. She has her whole 20s ahead of her to figure out what she wants to do.
Yeah.
And same with Jacob. You know, we just want him to be happy. I know he has talked about that he would like to do more mature roles. So perhaps we will see that from him.
Definitely.
And I feel like everything kind of is on hold now until production starts up again, whatever that is.
I know. I mean, he has said that a lot in his interviews, actually. Everyone's always like, when's Euphoria coming back? What's going on? And they actually went to go shoot Euphoria season 2 and then had to shut it down again. So now it's on hold again. But you know, I'm just over here manifesting anything from Jacob Elordi that I can get. You guys, he's literally the background on my phone. I have some notifications, can't tell, but I'm obsessed with him.
And I'm here for that. I'm here for that. You know, maybe he just needs to date a Hollywire reporter next named Jana. Perhaps that's for him.
True. You know, celebrities are out here like manifesting their love lives on Twitter.
Yeah, you just have to tweet. You have to tweet basically what Demi Lovato's now fiance did. You have to put it out in the Twitterverse.
Do I tag him or not?
Let's see how Max did it, Demi's fiance.
Let's do that.
Let's see what he did, and then I would just copy that tweet and say whatever.
Okay. Yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know.
Yeah. Any shout outs for you guys here? Peyton, thank you for watching our videos and for all of you guys. And we love that you guys are here. If you guys have any take on what you think is happening with Joey's love life, with Jacob's love life, or who you want them to date next, let us know. We want to hear it.
Yazine, thanks for watching. Hi. We love that you love our vids.
Hello. Oh, well.
Sweet, you guys. Okay. Well, yeah. Any thoughts you guys have about Jacob and Joey?
Let us know. We're here. All right, guys. Well, I'm Gabi Conti.
I'm Jana Rosenberg. And follow us here at Hollywire for your 24/7 celebrity news.